So, Bonnie, how are you today?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing good as well. Thank you so much. Welcome to the show. It is so cool and awesome to have someone as badass as you. I think it's a perfect start for an epic day, right? So, before we start, I have to give you an epic proper welcome. If you have seen some of my episodes before, yeah, there you go. Okay. All right. There you go. Oh, man. This is by far my favorite part every single day. So. I love doing this. I don't know why.
I love how random it is. I'm about it.
There you go. There you go. So, starting with the whole interview now, tell me how your acting career started.
My acting career started, I'd say, like the origin stories in high school. I wanted to be a singer really bad, like a country singer, like Shania Twain, Dolly Parton, mix those ladies together. I wanted to be that. And my math teacher knew it, so she told me to audition for a musical that the school was doing. And I was cast as the understudy of Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors. And a couple weeks before the production, our Audrey had to move suddenly for family problems, and I became Audrey. And then after that, I was in everything, doing everything. I fell madly in love with it.
So cool. So cool. It is so interesting that it just takes like one thing to click everything, you know? It's so interesting that.
It's true. Cool. I think my light bulb moment was when I visited the college I ended up going to and saw a performance of Bat Boy. Wow. I was just like, this is it. This is exactly what I want to do.
So cool. So, starting with your performance on theater, you have been in plays such as Reservoir Bitches, Washed Up, Zombies, and End of the World. Tell me about your characters in those plays, but also what are some of the highlight moments that you had during those projects?
Yeah, so actually all of those productions were done at the same theater. The way that it worked was I wrote Washed Up, and I had done a previous performance at that theater. And the rule that this theater has is when you do a full run of a production, you can use our stage to put some of your own work up. Okay. So I love doing my own work. I love doing all that kind of stuff. So I put up Washed Up, which is a play that I wrote to like really explain how I felt moving from Florida to California, because I'm from swamp people. So it's about a pirate that gets dropped in modern day times and has to like find their way back to their time with the help of a young homeless girl and a therapist.
Okay.
Yeah. So I put that production on. I was a therapist. And during that time, the owner of the stage said, why don't you go ahead, since you're here using the stage, play with your directing and your acting skills and put on these other productions that I've written. And so the way that I had to do that, because it's all like no pay volunteer based work, is I had to cast myself as the smallest role or not a role at all and direct them. And then because it is free work, you always have someone dropping out last minute. So I had to pretty much know everyone's role well enough to go on at any time. And one of the nights I had to just basically go on stage with a prop that if I occasionally needed to pick up a cue, I could look at it, because it was the one character I thought I would never have to do. And it was Pink in Reservoir Bitches, which is like the crazy one who ends up cutting off the ear. Because Reservoir Bitches is based off of Reservoir Dogs, just the female version. So we all get to be badasses. We get to torture people and have a great time. But it's the same story, and it's just women. And then we have End of the World, which was just a riot because my cast was unforgettable. Like, we bonded more than anybody, I think. And we let ourselves have more fun. There were more characters. We could kind of improv through some stuff. So I got to play pretty much every female character in all of those productions. And it was amazing. And it was like a good workout as an actor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you pretty much did everything.
Yeah. I even had to run off stage to like cue the sound.
Okay. Like as an extra stuff also.
Yeah. So it was a little black box theater, so that's when you can accomplish those kinds of things.
Yeah. But I mean, I bet that once everything was done, you basically slept like 4, 5, 6 days, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I did that theater for a few months, and then it was a full-time thing. So I had to actually be a grown-up and get, paychecks and pay bills and all that stuff. So I had to move on. And so after that, I actually ended up working for a traveling theater full-time. For 4 years, I did it dinner theater, improv. I did a lot of drag. I do a drag king bit. My name's Woody Banger. I have a great time. I'm so inappropriate. And so I did that for a long time. But then again, same thing. It was like time to move on. So I wrapped that up, and now I've been diving really deep into the TV and film stuff.
That's so cool. You know, it is so interesting that whenever you do what you love, I mean, of course, that at first you don't get like this huge income, but I mean, I've discovered that the feeling is so amazing instead of having this, I don't know, this other job in which they will pay you well, but you just hate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you just don't stand any second of it. You'll be like angry all the time. And be like, ugh, at what time I can leave? You know, and once you're doing something that you love, that you just love it. You know, it's so interesting.
It's true. I think especially for anyone that's like artistically inclined, working a regular job just feels like death. It feels like absolute death.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it does feel like that. Especially if you have like annoying coworkers, you're like, Jesus Christ, you know, like that typical scene that you go to work at 7 a.m. and then you got like this coworker who is like super active and like, good morning, you know, in the most energetic way. You're like, Jesus Christ, it's way too early for you to be like all hype. Wait a second, you know.
Yes, that's very true. I use those humans to inspire characters. So I worked at Starbucks during all of this as well. And I would take the Starbucks sleeves and I would just write notes in between, like checking people out or making drinks, and I'd stick it in my apron pocket. So I have a box somewhere of just like Starbucks sleeves with notes all over them.
Cool. Wow. So basically it would be like stacking ammo, you know?
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so cool. If you want more stories, I mean, about like office job stuff or something, I can give you like a lot of characters you could possibly use stuff with, because otherwise that, or the typical one that out of the nowhere just talks to you, and it's again 7 or 8 a.m. and you're like in your sleeping phase, trying to, you know, like waking up little bit, and then this guy comes and be like, hey, how you doing? And start talking to you, and you're like, dude, wait. You know,
let me finish my coffee first.
Yeah, let me just finish, and I'll be right back with you in 2 hours. And then they will ask, like, then why you are not like not awake? I mean, come on, it's Friday. And then I would say yes, and then 48 hours later it's Monday. So I don't see the point of it. You know. But anyway, and like what would you say is like an important aspect for a play to be a successful one?
Well, I think a good story you need for pretty much anything, but also people that want to make it. You can tell when people aren't super excited about the thing that they're working on. Yeah. So I tend to have more fun stage or film with people that are excited about the project and really want to do it, and not people that are doing it for, you know, a requirement. Some people do it for their parents' approval, that kind of stuff, you know, like you have to be excited about the story, and then I feel like it really comes to life. Yeah,
I can agree on that. And you can tell, it is true. You can tell whenever either on a play or even also like in a movie or in a show, whenever there's this character that you can easily tell, like, oh, this guy, they don't want to play that character, you know. And then I know what you mean.
And it goes back to the crew and everything too. I feel like you can definitely tell when the crew's not excited about the project. I have the best time when I come off of set or backstage and the crew is excited about what just happened on stage. That's when I feel like I have won my life, is when the crew is pumped, you know. I get a lot of my energy from the people around me, which is why I found that I really like being on set, so I could be there with, like, literally I can reach out and grab somebody in the crew, because I like to be on both sides of the camera. So that feels more like the whole community family feeling. And so when everybody's excited about the story, the director, the producer, the crew, the boom operator, it just feels alive.
That's amazing. And is it true that on backstage that it will be like a hole in which you can check who is on the crowd?
Oh yeah, you can usually kind of peek somewhere and look out in the audience. It depends on lighting though, also, and it depends on the stage. Where I went to college, it was a thrust stage, so to peek at the audience, it was like you had to run all the way around the back of the theater and go up to the back. It was like a whole to-do. But most proscenium stages, there's a little peek hole where you can look out.
That's so cool. And like, what would you like? How usually, or what are some of the yeah, like the techniques you do in order to prepare a character?
I get pretty weird with my characters. It depends on the character also. Lucky for me, I do have the ability to empathize with a lot of these characters. I can think about how this character might be feeling or whatever pretty easily, but creating the world, I do kind of piece by piece. I like to do like a imagination work. I create all of the circumstances around me, my history, do all of that, and then I kind of live in that for a while if I can, if I have the time. I think about it, I ponder it, I fantasize, a lot of fantasy. I like to do all of my work while I'm doing the dishes. You know, I look at my lines, I fantasize, I stay busy so that I can stay in my head also. And then when it comes to the day of, my thing is getting all of the time that I need to get ready. Even if it's like show up to set with no makeup on, I really want my morning to be as zen as possible. I light candles, I make playlists for my characters. So they have like their own special music or their favorite songs, and I play that while I'm getting ready, and I play that on my way to set or to the stage. And a really weird random one is my nails. I'm always like, what kind of nails would this character have? Like, it's my weird little side thing that makes it even more fun. So the night before, I do my nails for the character.
Interesting. That is, I mean, that's so cool because, for example, with a playlist, you get the chance to discover like new music, and also you will have at some point so many playlists with so many different artists. So that's cool.
It's true. And so, you know, there's a lot of characters that kind of intertwine. So I get to reuse a lot of my playlists and then mix them up for different characters.
That's so interesting. Wow. So whenever you will hear like a specific song for, I don't know, for a character that you played, I mean, I would assume that it will get you a little bit into that character. Like, I remember that, you know? Yeah,
it's a really quick way to drop in. It's so easy because, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I hear songs, I get carried away. I love a good road trip simply so I can listen to music and just jam out and zone out. So music is a really big tool for me. I use it a lot. Totally. And my coach is really dependent on it too. So her and I we vibed with that immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so amazing. Wow. And so with music, it's the same. I mean, if I go on a highway or something, don't mess with the music. You know, I will have like a playlist. Yeah, totally. I mean, I will have like a playlist in which we start slow, you know, a little bit, and then once we're in the highway, then we switch to a little more hyped up, then singing. Then I know what you mean. It's amazing. And like moving to your performances on films, tell me, what do you like the most when you go on set?
Meeting the people. I love humans. I get really excited about humans. I call myself a golden retriever sometimes because I just get like, I have to control myself. So much that I control myself and then I look kind of mean, but it's just because I'm being like, breathe, don't freak people out. Just meeting the people and finding new fun ways to collaborate with people or to bond with people. To create this story. I feel like every time I'm on set, I learn something really big, you know? So I can only do that whenever I'm making contact with other humans.
That's amazing. And you were in Only Just a Moment. Tell me about that film, but also about your character.
So that was a really fun one. It was a quick little one-night shoot. It was freezing. My character is a girl that was out on her date with her boyfriend, and it got kind of violent, so she ran away. And I'm like dressed deceivingly like a prostitute, but it's just like date night, you know? So, but I'm on the street, it's midnight, you know, classic story for females. So then this guy pulls up beside me and asks if I want to ride, and I take it. And then it becomes actually a love story. And through our rides and like just joking and singing to the radio, we kind of fall in love. And then you reveal that it's a memory and I have since passed.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was deep.
It was really deep. And I got to work alongside Lon Ray from Comedy Central, and he was amazing. And it was really funny because we were working all night until the sun came up, and he had to leave straight from set and go straight to the airport to go to Chicago to shoot the next season for, why am I blanking on the name of his show?
Oh my God.
Southside. I think it's called Southside on Comedy Central. So he was like such a pro about it, and it was just, you know, being alongside him when he had all of that pressure, but none at all. You know, he was so cool about it. Yeah, it was inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, of course, that sometimes might get tough, but if you do what you love, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, especially if you're practicing it, then you can jump from a project to a project, and it doesn't seem like crazy.
Yeah, totally. Now, you were also in Mousetrap, Please Don't Be My Valentine, Fame or Nothing, Okay Liar, Cyanide, Cabby, Original, Real Shark Coyote. I mean, the list goes on and on, but tell me, like, from all of those films, what are some of the moments you enjoy the most during the shoot for those projects?
Okay. Mousetrap is a little short comedy that has not come out yet, but I'm very excited for it too, because I did a web series that came out through the pandemic called Gal Pals. And my romantic interest in that was my new best friend, Katie. And so Katie called me one day and said, I want to do this short comedy with a few friends. It'll just be me and you. We're roommates. And we're just going to be weird. And I think we shot it over just 2 days. It might have even been 1 day, but it was literally like a slumber party. Just
so cool.
A bunch of friends hanging out. Oh, what if we shot it this way? And our main goal was to get sillier, like have more fun with it. Okay, let's do it again, but more fun. So cool. That one was just, that wasn't even work. That was just a party, basically. And I played a really fun, silly character. I like to be an oblivious person on screen. It's fun. So that was a big playground for me. And then Please Don't Be My Valentine. Oh my goodness. If I could redo that film every weekend, I would. It also has not come out yet, but it is a darker comedy based off of, loosely based off of Casey Anthony, if you know of her.
Casey Anthony.
It's a true crime thing. I grew up in Florida, so I knew of Casey Anthony, but she is accused and this is based off of that character, but in this other, like, more, outrageous world. So I was her on a date, and people in the restaurant start to recognize me. And that's how the guy I'm on a date with finds out who I am. And then it all unravels from there. Amazing, because I got to play this character that has this mask on, and then I shifted really aggressively. She clearly has some sort of emotional imbalance of some sort. So it was like the Olympics emotionally. I had to jump from rage to happiness to scared all in like a matter of seconds.
Wow.
To hit all of her moments. And oh man, it was too much fun. So much that afterwards I was sad that it was over for longer than usual. And Original, I shot during the pandemic. I did it by myself here in my home. I played, I think, 5 different characters, and it was just based off of the frustration of trying to make my own content, because this was kind of at the beginning of me trying to do that in the film world, and it was a little lonely at first because I didn't have the community that I have now. So I played myself, and then I played the personification of my upbringing, which was my mother, basically. And she's like really country and crazy, so that was fun. I played the personification of my sexuality, my education, my social abilities, my opinions, creativity, and emotions. I think I said emotions twice. Emotions was my favorite. And it was just like a fun little thing for me to do during the pandemic. And then because I finished it and I kind of liked it more than I thought I would, I put it in I shot it on my phone, so I put it on some phone festivals. And it did great. It was chosen a few times, won a couple awards, which did awesome. And it was my first experience doing festivals. So it was a nice way to dive into that kind of stuff. And also, it's always been a dream of mine to play one person playing multiple types of roles. So I just was able to make that dream come true for myself by myself, and that felt really empowering.
Yeah, totally. I mean, what a challenge, by the way. What a challenge to be able to do like so many characters here and there, and at the same time, it's just you.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's epic. And like, from all of the characters that you have played at the moment, what are some of your favorite ones?
I just got back from Mississippi, where I played The Grip, which it's a movie about making a movie. So,
Okay.
so I was part of the crew, and it started off being a really small role, but my counterpart and I just had so much fun, and we just started making so many bits that it kind of grew from there. And
Okay.
so, whereas my character was originally just the grip, we gave her a name, and it was Beef. And I was just like the more masculine one, even though my counterpart was a really big biker dude. So I was Beef and he was my partner. And I was dressed kind of like in the style of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but a little more femmy. And my whole goal the whole time was simplicity and maintaining her closed offness, because I'm not closed off. I'm very open. I love talking to people. And Beef was closed off. Beef was in another world. So it was fun to play with that without making it too much, without making it something different, without taking the story in another route. Just be in another world. Just do that. And it was fun.
Well, I mean, I think it's super interesting. Like, whenever you get the chance, like, to play this character, because it could be like this character totally relatable to you, or a character that is totally not relatable at all, but you get the chance, like, to learn, like, new things, and I get also, it's kind of a therapeutic in a way, you know?
No, it really is. I feel like I learn a lot about myself whenever I play roles that I wouldn't think are like me, because when I first took on Beef, I was like, oof, this is nothing like me at all. I'm going to have a hard time making this natural. And then I was like, I might be more like Beef than I ever knew by the end of it.
So cool. And what would you say it's an important aspect for creating and playing a character?
I'd say honesty and authenticity. You have to be truthful. You have to come from a place of truthfulness. In order to be relatable, in my opinion. I don't want to see people lying. I want to see people actually in it and believing it and kind of giving themselves to that moment. You know, it takes a lot. It's exhausting to give yourself to some of these really tough moments, whatever tough moment is to you, you know. So you have to be very honest. You have to be honest on if you're able to do it. And if you're not, what steps do you need to take to be able to do it? What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? What do you like and what do you not enjoy? Where are your boundaries? All of these things have to be solidified for yourself, and they're changing. So you have to be honest with yourself when they change, you know?
Sure. Wow. That is amazing. And what would you say it's important for storytelling?
The same. I would say honesty and authenticity, but also diving deeper. Going just a little further with your thought process has helped me a lot. I just started writing in the past few years, so I'm still learning. But the main thing that I keep saying to myself is when I make a decision about a character or a plot point, I go, let me think a little longer on that moment. What else is under there that I'm not seeing? You know, that human moment that I'm not seeing because I'm a human.
Yeah, but that's amazing. I mean, the fact that whenever you will see like a movie or show, and there will be like this character in which they will involve like they went very deep on it, and it's so amazing whenever you get the chance to kind of feel relatable to the character, you know, or to even care for that character like throughout the whole movie or show. So whenever they would do that, personally, I do appreciate that a lot, because sometimes we will have like these cardboard characters that just don't care, and you're like, whatever. And if that character died, you're like, whatever. But when a character that you cared died, oh my god, it feels like a close friend died. You know what I mean? So it is amazing whenever they get the chance to like experiment and take it like super deep on it.
No, it's true. I agree.
Wow. Now you have also been involved in you have also been involved in directing. Tell me about it, and also what do you like most about it?
I love directing. For me, there's you can be on a million different types of sets, you know? Every set is different. What I like about being director is setting the mood for the set. Like I said, I like a very zen space. I like it all to feel very safe and very judgment free. And I feel like when I'm the director, I get to lay that foundation. Step 1. Step 2, I like control. I like being in charge of what decisions are being made and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I get to let that stuff out. And also, I feel like as a director, there's a different connection that you get with actors that you can't get when you're an actor in the scene. And I have learned more from acting being in the director's seat than I have ever learned being the actor.
Wow, that's so interesting. And
yeah,
what
so
would
I
you
started
say...
it just to learn about acting, and then I ended up really liking it.
Wow. And like, what would you say it's important to know for those who recently started directing?
Keep learning. I think a lot of people just, they get to a point where they go, oh, I've made it here, and then they get stagnant. Not a lot. I'm just saying, like, that's what happened for me. And so I had to be pushed out of my comfort zone to start learning more and to want to learn more. And now I've realized it's kind of a requirement, you know? When you stop learning, when you stop growing, so does your art, you know? Don't be stagnant. If you feel really uncomfortable, I love those motivational memes that are like, you're a planted seed right now. If it's dark, it's because you're about to grow. It's true. It's really true. It's really corny, but it's really true. So I think especially when you're in the director's seat, when you're the one looking at all of the chess pieces and going, no, you should be here, you have to be growing and questioning yourself.
That's amazing. So you have directed several projects such as Silent Wood, Washed Up, Stage Recording, Troy Thompson music video. I mean, also the list goes on. But tell me, what are some of the highlight moments you had during those projects?
Silent Wood was crazy because I did that in college with a group of my friends as a it was for acting for the camera class, and we only needed to make a 10-minute film, and I made a 30-minute film because I was having too much fun. So I just said, you know what, you get it 3 times over. And it was an improv film. I wrote an outline. I plugged in my friends. It's a horror film, so I had a lot of stereotypes that I could bank on. And it was my first film that I had directed. And I just kind of let everybody play. I was like, here's this scene. This is the goal in this scene. Let's see what happens. And then we would play, and then we would play, and like, oh, we'll try something different for that. And then we would play, and then we would play, and then I would say, okay, these things were really cool. Let's do that, and let's do the scene. And it felt really collaborative to improv your way through everything. Now, of course, because we don't have amazing writers on our team to like create all of these amazing plot holes and all that kind of stuff, it was still a learning experience, but it was the most fun. Another night shoot. We did it through the night. There was blood everywhere because, you know, horror film. And just setting up shots for horror films are really fun. Setting it up to be extra scary and spooky and surprising. It was, I see why the horror film industry specifically is so much more fun than the others. Like, the community is more fun, the people are more fun, the people that are making them are more fun, because it's such a more hands-on project to do, and you can do it low budget, whereas with action films it's kind of out of your hand until you get to a certain point.
Yeah, it is true. And also it is so interesting. I have an interview, in some actors they would say that they love like running wild, screaming around, you know, for a horror film, because it's fun. Or sometimes these actors who they will play like a villain, they love playing the villain. Or even those who play the monsters, they would say that it's so interesting that whenever they are like on full makeup, full monster, and then some people will get scared because you will see like this monster tweeting or having a coffee, you're like, what? You know? It's
true. I love that stuff. I also love the shot that just reminded me of Game of Thrones. Oh, I'm blanking on her name, but she's the sister from the Greyjoys. And there's a picture of her breastfeeding while in full battle costume, dirt. She's filthy. And then she has her baby here. Like her freshly clean baby.
That's so, I would say, that's so cool. I mean, that's such cool moments, And if you could describe your career at the moment on a movie, TV show, or even a book, why not? What would be the title of it?
I'm gonna call it my mantra. I found this mantra on a painting at a yard sale. And I say it to myself every morning, and it's a picture of a cowboy hanging off of a cliff by a rope, just held on by a bull that's like at the top of the cliff. And at the bottom it says, "Hang in there, old buddy."
That's so cool.
That's me. That's what I tell myself. That's what I tell the people around me. That's my general vibe as hang in there, old buddy.
And would it be a movie, TV show, or book?
TV show.
TV show. Okay, that's so cool. And if at some point you're gonna make like a TV show, you get your title here.
Yeah.
There you
True.
go. Now, tell me, like, what drives you, or like, what motivates you every day to continue building your dreams? Or because I do think it. I mean, it happens to all of us all the time that whenever you starting this project or you're doing like the thing that you love the most, you will feel discouraged like a lot of times. You will compare yourself. Yeah, it happens also. So I wonder, like, what gets you into this move to be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna continue doing what I love the most. Screw what others think. Just gonna follow like my own things. Like, what gets you to that move to move and to continue?
For me, every time I've gotten really, really low, and it's quite often in this business, the thing that I need is usually a day of like self-care, of just loving myself and being nice to myself and forgiving myself for not being as productive as I wish I was.
Yeah.
And then I need to go live a little bit. You know, I think as actors, we put ourselves in our little hole. We wait for an audition. We read. We watch a movie. We read. We watch a movie. We go to class. We watch a movie. You know, like we just like stick in this zone. It's important to get out of your little cave. Go see your community of supportive friends that you have hopefully created, because that is what saves me every time. Just talking to one of my friends usually will bring me halfway out of my darkness. Wow. And then going out and seeing nature, the things that I love. You know, I volunteer at a horse ranch, and when I'm the saddest, I go to the horse ranch. I go out there, I get on a horse. You know, you can't be sad when you're on a horse. It's not possible. I haven't accomplished it yet.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's so cool. Wow. And my last question here, what can we expect from you in the future?
In the future, I think you can expect, I'll be trying new things forever. New things, always. And I will probably be making mistakes, and I'll be very honest about it.
That's so, but I think that's amazing. And also, I think that's what life is all about, you know, that whenever you get the chance to try new things on the thing that you love. I mean, I do like sometimes whenever those mistakes happen, because either it could be like a fun experience or a very interesting learning experience, you know, or maybe both. So
it's true. Usually it's learning, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, Bonnie, what can I say? At the end of the day, you're a badass.
You're a badass.
That's what I'm gonna say. I mean, you're a badass. Your whole career is super cool. The fact that you went through acting and theater, that you were direct, that you also write, that you have done like so many things here and there, that you moved to Florida to California. I mean, I do think that it takes like a lot of courage whenever you will like leave your hometown to this new place, in order to like to pursue your dreams. I do think that takes like a lot of courage, because I think we all have like this friend, or like this friend who wants to do something, but they're just too afraid of it, you know, and they just don't want to leave, and they are stuck in that same place. And whenever you get the chance to like speak with them, they just feel miserable. But no matter how it doesn't matter how many good vibes you will send to that person. If they don't want to move, that's it. So the fact that you actually did that, it's super cool. That's amazing. I mean, and if someone would say like, what do I think about your career and about yourself, I would only say this: what you do, it's amazing. Keep doing what you do. Keep following your dreams here. It is super inspirational, and I'm super sure that eventually we will see like a lot more of you in the future. We will see you in even more, I don't know, in these huge franchises or in your own projects, which I'm super sure that they're gonna they're gonna be epic as well. Keep doing what you do. Also, thank you so much for those who are watching. If you're watching this later on YouTube or on the podcast, make sure that you're following Bonnie and learning all social media. Normally, what I would say is for you to put pause, then leave a like and subscribe super quick, and then hydrate, and then go follow Bonnie. Leave me the likes. spread the word that we have this amazing, talented actress here. Share all the content. Let the world know that we have this amazing person right here, and then come back. And again, Bonnie, thank you super much. Before I send you off, you know the drill. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
It never gets old.
Yeah, never. No, 130 something episodes, and I'm still doing this, and I'm still gonna do it every single day. So
Love it.
Keep rocking, keep having an amazing rest of the day, an amazing week, an amazing upcoming weekend, and nothing but amazing things to do, because you totally deserve those. So
Thank you, Dad.
I'll see you in the next one, okay?
See ya.
Bye.